So, this week I've had to have plastic surgery on my pet duck. The bills were ridiculous.
God!
Yeah. A little tip from the top for you. If a woman is uncomfortable watching you masturbate, she has A, intimacy issues, B, she might be a little bit frigid, or C, she needs to sit somewhere else on the bus. My mate's motto was always, leave the theatre with them wanting more. He's a great guy, but a terrible anaesthetist.
Jesus, God's sake.
What?
I've got one.
Mm?
Shall I do one? Because I never
Go on,
do one.
go on,
Go on,
you
you
do
do
one.
it. Go on.
You do
Okay.
one. The silence is deafening me, so let's get on with it. Yeah, go on.
I had to change my password the other day.
Yeah.
I changed it to beef stew. Turns out it wasn't strong enough.
Hold on.
Oh,
Nice. There you go. See, it can be done.
I can do it.
You can
There
do
you go.
it. You can do it. You're in the big leagues now. You're the big dog. You're the big dog. And and as I may have mentioned someone's name or not their name because they sent me an email full of jokes last week, I feel it should be equal now that I will thank the following people. No surnames, so you
my
may.
God.
So now I'd like to name Lee, Greg, and David for those.
Greg. Let's see.
I'm
How
not
many
saying-
Gregs do we have?
I'm
signed
not
up to
saying.
Black
I'm
Dog?
not saying. Oh, and yeah, just one last thing. I have a friend who
Load
writes,
the guns and mount the choppers. We're off.
I have a friend who writes music about sewing machines. He's a singer-songwriter, or so it seems. Come on.
Jesus
Anyone?
H.
Is this on? Hello? 1, 2, 1, 2.
Do you think? Do you not think that people have, a hard enough time at Christmas as it is, without this?
Fuck it. After the week I've had, they can all fucking suffer like the rest of us. Sod them. Sod them all. Christmas cheer? Fuck it. Fuck it.
What? No Christmas music. No.
No.
No, you sure?
If I never, ever, ever hear any Christmas music ever again in my entire life, it will be too soon.
No Mrs. Brown's Boys Christmas special.
Fuck off.
Is that still going? Is that still a thing?
Yeah.
As long as there's the concept of hell, Mrs. Brown's Boys will continue to exist.
Jesus.
Unfortunately, it always will be there. I think they have to keep it in a jar in some sort of laboratory because if you get rid of it, then something else replaces it.
Yeah, it just it does. Yeah, once you kill it, it will just move to somewhere stronger.
Mm-hmm.
It will come out stronger and take over something else. Anyway,
Jean-Paul Sartre got it wrong, didn't he? Hell isn't other people. Hell is a full season of Mrs. Brown's Boys, isn't it? That's
yeah.
what it is.
Well, in fairness, Sartre wasn't around for that, but if he was, I think he would have
felt
changed.
He felt it down the ages, mate.
Oh,
That's it.
yeah.
He just felt it. That's what
Yeah.
it was.
Anyway, hello everyone. Welcome to the Black Dog 156. I'm Lee.
I'm Darren.
I am Elton.
And this week we are not joined by Jim anymore because he is playing host to some guests. And so shall
Oh,
not-
fancy.
fancy!
Yeah.
I'm sure there'll be tea and scones and maybe the odd tea cake or something. But there you go. And yes, so he's not around because he's got something better to do. Basically,
Tea, scones, lines of coke. I don't know. Hookers.
hookers. dancing around the campfire in Wiccan gear. I mean, it's all there. Bit of Lord Summerisle floating about. Is it a wicker man to burn? I mean, there's so much to do at Christmas. You just don't know. Anyway, so yeah. So he won't be joining us for this week. Mr. Jim Moon will not be joining us for the rest of his life. Sorry, we have to get a Die Hard in there. And this is the last episode of the year. Because basically next Tuesday will be Boxing Day, and I'm fucked if I'm recording this stuff on Boxing Day.
That means we have to watch the new film on Christmas Day. Oh dear.
Yeah, nobody wants to watch whatever we end up picking on Christmas Day. No. So there you go. So so this week we'll see how everyone's week's been, if anything's been other than just wanting to punch Paul McCartney and he's simply having a wonderful Christmas time right in the fucking mouth. And
Got your Christmas time right here, McCartney.
yeah. I'll make you look like you sat on a pineapple, you gormless twat. Go on. So there's that. We'll have some feedback for last week's episode, which was RoboCop remake, or Robert Cop, as we ended up calling him. And then finally we move on to this week's movie, which is the ever festive movie, Darren.
The Fallen.
You didn't watch it, did you?
No, I did.
What did I choose?
Sorry, I was a million miles away there for a second. I was in the land of Shaking Stevens Christmas.
Yeah,
We
nice.
all want to be in Shakey's Christmas, don't we? Yeah.
No, I don't want to be in anyone's Christmas. What I want to be is sitting at home, just doing nothing and avoiding people for the rest of my fucking natural born days.
Oh, that's the dream.
Yeah, walking in the winter wonderland. Yeah, like fuck I am. Anyway, so let's start with your weeks. Let's get that out of the way. You can tell I'm into it this week, can't you? You can tell my final nerve has been shredded.
Good week. Yep. Good week. Yep. You.
Good night, everyone.
Yep.
Anyway.
Well, that's it for us. Good night. Did you enjoy the film? Yeah, I did. All right. See you then. Bye.
It's all right.
Yeah.
Move on.
Laters.
See ya. Peace out. Right. So go on in, El, and we'll start with you, mate.
I'm racking my brain as to what I've done this week. I think it's just spend money on presents. And then having that shock of, have I got enough?
Mm-hmm.
And then laying it out. And you know when you think, right, I got that. And in your head, you're like tallying it up going, I got fucking shit tons. I better calm down. And then when you lay it out in front of you, like, oh no. And then you start moving bits over. You're like, well, that's for that person. I can move that bit over there.
Yeah. Maybe I'll give them 10 quid less because then that 10 quid could go over there for that person. You know, don't worry, Mark. Well, like, no.
God bless
them.
And
in the end, everybody gets 2.5p and a button. You know, that's it. Yep.
This has happened since all this Christmas stuff began, and yet I'm just learning it. It's crazy.
Yep. Oh, it's just fucking hell.
Yeah, so I have, done precisely just work and spend money, and that's it. It's just been balancing all these things up. Not terribly exciting, I'm afraid. I haven't watched anything. Oh no, I watched another episode of that Scavenger's Run. I forget
Scavenger's Reign.
Scavenger's Reign, yes,
yep.
Yeah. Really enjoying that still. Not made it to the end yet, but man, it's weird. I love it. It has got that vibe of, you know, at the end of Akira where it's all going a bit cray-cray.
A bit cray-cray, is that what the kids say?
Yes, a bit cray-cray.
A bit cray-cray.
Where
Greetings,
it's all like,
my fellow kids.
Tetsu, Canada!
Wow. I'm glad we had that nicely isolated out so that just for 1 second I could just stick that on here. That's going to be our new end. I'm going to take the Jim doing the harmonica saying bollocks. I'm just going to get that bit. I'm going to put that on the end for 2024. Tetsu, Canada. That's going to be the end. That's going to be our end play.
Elton AI there for a minute.
No, not yet. No, there's only room for one AI, Dal. You know, and it's you at the moment. I was trying to make a Jim one, knowing that he wasn't going to be on this week, but I just didn't get round to it. But I got a euphemism, but I never actually got that finished. So, don't worry.
You could use that. You could use. It could be like Groot. You know where he says, "I am Groot." Well, Jim could just say euphemism. You go, "Well, I see your point there, Jim, but I do think the social structure of North America really. I don't think they should take it in that direction. I mean, you know, I appreciate.
What do you think about the socio-economic policies of North Korea?
Exactly. I appreciate the armor-piercing bullets angle that you were going on with there. But maybe just tone it down a bit.
Yeah, euphemism. Well, I agree. Yes, gun control is something that needs to be considered quite heavily in the modern age.
Euphemism. Shut your mouth.
Yeah, steady there.
You talk to your mother with that mouth.
Yeah. How dare you? My children are in the room. Anyway, yeah, okay, cool. So Scavenger's Reign, and you got a bit to do.
Yeah, I think I'm there though, which is nice. It's nice to be ahead of the curve. But yeah, nothing's. I'm not even going to say what I was thinking in my head then, because otherwise I'm just going to jinx myself and cost myself a lot of money. So yeah, all good in the hood. Thumbs up. Peace out. 2023 done. Looking forward to mid-20s now. We're getting rid of the old 20s, like the early 20s. And we're now venturing into mid-20s. So hopefully the early 20s were shit. Mid-20s is going to be wicked.
God, I love your optimism. It's misplaced, entirely misplaced, but I love it.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, right, fine. Well, maybe we should do a set of movies based on the year it is. If we can find a movie, science fiction movie with 2024, and see how it figures out.
There's that poster that does the rounds every year, isn't it? Saying you are here now. And I think it was like Soylent Green was the most recent one.
Well, that was pretty much on the money, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was actually, yeah.
Wasn't far off. Oh, well. Maybe just do a whole year just reviewing movies that were set in 2024. Yeah, I'm sure that'll be great. Right, okay then. Well, we'll move on then. Darren, what about you, sir?
Oh, I haven't really done much this week. I've got to be honest. I've had to do a little bit of shall we say rustic DIY this week. I'll call it rustic because
your air fryer caught fire, didn't it?
No. We've
burned down the kitchen.
What kitchen?
Yeah.
Oh, was that what it was? Oh, that. Oh, of course it had that's an oven.
Yeah.
That's what. It's not just because I thought that's a really shit TV. I keep turning the dials trying to tune it into BBC One, and I'm getting nothing.
Yeah, I turned it up to 87, and it's just I don't know what's going on now. There's no wallpaper anymore. That's why we call the kitchen rustic.
There we go. No. When I say rustic DIY, I've had to take apart a sofa because we're getting a new one delivered tomorrow. It's got a very small window of delivery from 7 a.m. till 6 p.m. So
it's turning up
blink
Christmas,
and you miss it.
So it's turning up in Christmas. Yeah.
But we've had to get rid of the old one, and it's not a very good sofa. It was very uncomfortable. It's like on its last legs. So
did you get it in the DFS sale?
No, we got it given to us.
He got it in the only day there wasn't a sale.
Yeah, exactly. We just got it handed to us and said, "There you go, have a sofa." Like, thank you very much. But it's we've had to get rid of it. So instead of spending like 50 quid on a van to get it out of here, I've had to break this thing down.
Right.
Are you slowly disposing of it like some weird serial killer?
Oh, yeah. No. No.
Why have you suddenly got a load of fence posts covered in foam in your garden?
I've got a patch of earth out there with some, some thingy lime in it, quick lime.
There's some feet
Shallow
sticking
grade,
out.
quick lime.
Marjorie, come here. Next door's got feet sticking out of the ground. What, real feet? No, sofa feet. I think he's been killing a sofa.
I said, Errol, feed it to the pigs.
Yeah, go feet first.
There you go. So,
they'll go through a corner sofa like butter.
It will. I've managed to.
They'll go through springs like butter. Yeah,
I managed to dismantle it in about 2 hours. Probably just under that.
2 hours?
This thing was.
What are you doing? Lego dismantling it, taking it apart one tack at a time.
I wish I could say that.
Numbering them.
I'm not joking. They used on each joint in here. They must have used about 30 long staples through this thing, right? So there's no like screws or anything like this. They've just punched the whole lot through, right? So it's trying to get rid of. I mean, I started. What was it? I tried getting it the night before, got it open. It's just like, oh, this is a bit difficult, and it's just like I can't really dismantle this without making some noise. So I had to wait until the next day. But yeah, it's a good job I had the tarpaulin on the floor, because I just happened to have one.
Right. Yes.
Laying around.
Yeah. The once you got the blood marks out of it, you were
exactly.
All right,
And,
did you start playing Huey Lewis and the News to it as well?
No, it was Stuck in the Middle with You by Steelers Will. Actually, I said, I don't care how comfortable you think you are. I'm going to talk to you anyway.
Yes, exactly. Yeah,
yes.
I've got this here.
Indeed. So it took me about 2 hours to break that down, and it's interesting to see people's workmanship. It really is from the other side. I've never actually taken apart a sofa before.
Are you really about to criticise the quality and build of a sofa that you've been sitting on for like 20 odd years?
For something that was really uncomfortable, after a while, it actually was quite well made, because I think I used a lot of swear words.
Right. Yeah.
I actually get this thing apart.
Right.
Because it had this, that, and it's like you're trying to dismantle one thing, but then you realise you've got to go around and do this, but then that thing won't come off because you've got to go around and do this other part. And it's just like the crystal fucking maze. It's just, what's the one bit I've got to pull out that makes it all go, like, collapse?
That's definitely going on with Darren AI. What have I got to pull out to make it collapse? I've just marked that in. That's 16 minutes. That's right there. That's Darren AI update.
And next year on Black Dog, Darren takes down the British government. What have I got to pull to make it all collapse?
What have I got to pull out to make it all collapse?
Well, there you go.
Well, I never. Lovely party.
Indeed. It's a bit chilly in here. So yeah, that's just about it, really. That's all that's really kind of happened.
So
I've not been in work or anything. I've been off. So
murdering sofas.
Murdering sofas. So I'm not back until January the 2nd. So
yeah,
I'm just like freewheeling, really.
Oh right, okay.
Doing stuff, pottering around, getting
January
the place prepared.
Yeah, so can I just ask a quick question?
Uh-huh.
Is Ree just like sitting cross-legged on the floor watching the telly?
I've said to her, stay back. Don't bother coming into the living room. Ignore any screams you may hear coming from this room. When I am finished, I will let you know. Then you may come in. For I wish you to have a happy Christmas. And, seeing what I've got to do, it may not be that way.
Lee,
no.
Lee,
yeah.
We both know that there was a moment when that sofa went out that room and he had the discussion of, oh, it's quite roomy in here. Should we keep it like this?
Yeah.
It's funny you should say that.
Yep. Well, maybe if we just got a couple of bean bags, something we could pack away. Yep, that's it.
We don't have company often, do we? Should we just have bean bags?
It's quite a big room, actually.
Yeah, well, if we get a couple of directors' chairs and some throw cushions, we'd be all right. There'd be all sorts of space. We could put a table in here and everything.
Why don't we just get some garden furniture? Because that's cheap.
Yeah.
Plastic.
Plastic.
Look, see, if it breaks, just pass it. And it's cheap enough to replace.
Central Isle of Lidl. Centre Isle of Lidl. I've seen a couple of planky chairs.
What do they call it? Raffia work table. There we go. In the middle. With like your umbrella in the middle of it as well. You can open up indoors, fucking pub umbrella. Yeah, there we go. You can hang some lights off it. I mean, look, it's really pretty, isn't it? Even though we can't afford to go out, it gives you the impression that you are.
Yeah. Actually, do you know what? I was walking down an alleyway and someone's thrown away a perfectly good sleeper. Maybe we should just get that and plonk it in the corner. We could use that, couldn't we?
We could, yeah.
A couple of futons.
Was it recycle?
Upcycle.
Upcycle.
That's it. Yeah.
Get on your fucking cycle. We're having the sofa.
Yeah, but do we really need it? Do we? I mean, look at the space. Yeah.
Space. Look at it.
Yeah.
Look.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh.
Can I, Elton? Can I make another suggestion?
Go on.
We come back and start recording on Tuesday the 2nd.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the first thing he tells us is he's been spending all of Christmas sitting around the dining room table because he ain't got any sofa. What do you reckon?
No, we're
taking a bet on that.
He's coming tomorrow.
He is coming tomorrow, is he?
He's coming tomorrow. Hold on. Let's see.
He's not coming.
He's not coming tomorrow.
He's
I
coming.
haven't had text message yet.
He's not coming tomorrow. Sorry, mate. Had a problem. Flat tire. We'll sort you out. Sort you out in the new year when I can get something from QuickFit.
I phone Argos and I go, new phone. Who dis? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. He's gonna be sitting there on a fucking beanbag, and 3 of them eating a turkey.
Beanbag. I'll be lucky. It'll be fucking air blown into a carrier bag with the ends tied up. There's your beanbag.
Space
Some
hopper.
jumpers.
As we're sitting there watching the fucking Escape from whatever. What was it? The
Escape
what
from
was
New
Steve
York.
McQueen? No, Steve McQueen.
Oh,
The Great Escape. That's it.
Great escape.
And it's like, what's that whining sound? And it's just air escaping from the bags. So, is this room growing, or am I getting smaller?
yeah. That's it. It's gonna be like Tom Hanks in the Money Pit. Find you in a hole in the ground, right in the middle, making paper planes.
That's no way turning up tomorrow. No way.
No way.
That's a New Year job, and that's phone up in the New Year and find.
Thanks.
I actually know it's
Cheers.
got to come from Italy again.
Yeah.
They got to remake it. Never
Yeah.
gonna happen.
Yeah,
Yeah,
damaged
but
in.
Where the fuck do you think I'm getting my furniture from? How much money do you think I've got?
The local Italian restaurant, he means, not
Oh,
Italy.
okay.
And the waiting room, the waiting area just in front of the reception.
They're refurbing their restaurant down the road.
Yeah, is it covered in red velveteen down?
Got some fire damage, but don't worry about it. It's all right.
Pasta stains on the back.
Yeah, failed insurance claim. That's what it was.
Yeah, the
Basically sitting around on Prezzo chairs.
Yeah.
It says it says ZZ's on the back of his check. It seems to go around in a really curly circle, like a booth.
It's not even that classy. It's from a place called Zaza's.
Zaza's.
Yeah, Zaza's, not ZZ's, Zaza's.
Yeah.
Just a little bit more sort of my price range.
Yeah. Yeah, it's made out of Papa John's boxes.
Papa, it's Father Dave's. That's where it's come from. Not Papa John's. It's Father Dave's.
Yeah. Daddy Johann's.
Yeah.
Anyway, right. So we'll keep you all abreast on the Facebook group as to how Darren gets on, because I'm sure we'll find out soon enough when he takes a photograph of his living room with nothing in there but an IOU pushed through the door. Sorry you were out. No.
Looks up Photoshop tutorial.
It's going to happen, mate. Don't worry. I'm sure by the time I've even said this, either Chris Johnson or Michael Wilding or Martin Thompson are already on the Facebook group with a fucking AI thing going, oh, guess what? Here's Darren.
Yep.
Here's Darren in an empty room looking at a Papa John's box, pretending to be a chair.
Well, you know what it'll be, didn't you? It'll be a case of I think if we got inches mixed up with centimeters, and it'll be like the fucking
Sylvanian families. Your sofas from a Sylvanian families collection. That's what they meant by Scandinavian class. It's a fucking toy sofa.
What's this? Who's it made by? Polly Pocket?
Yeah. Why's the box got a moomin on the outside of it? What the fuck is this? Right. Anything else, sir?
No.
Right.
That's just about it.
That
really.
is it, is it? Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, I'll just skip through mine because I mean there's a lot going on, but it's all family based, and I think I don't want to get it out in the open because you just know someone will hear and it'll all go horribly wrong.
Fair enough.
But suffice to say, my brother shouldn't be fucking investing in crypto. Anyway.
What?
I said it now, haven't I?
No, you said it. No.
No.
Oh, dear. Really?
Anyway.
What? Hang on. Well,
yeah. Green room, perhaps. In the
okay.
break. Yeah.
Okay. Move in.
Suffice to say, people who don't understand things shouldn't be doing things, and shouldn't be fucking telling me to do things either, or trying to bully me into it, or just generally gabbling on. Oh, God, hold on, my phone just buzzed. I bet someone's going, hang on, shut up, don't tell anyone. No, anyway, other than that, one thing that we have watched Reacher, the first 3 episodes of season 2 on Amazon Prime. Yeah, I'm liking it. I'm liking it a lot. But then again, I like the first series. So if you don't like the first series, there's not a lot to recommend it. But it's just, I think you'll dig it, Dal, because there's lots of bad guys and getting their comeuppance in fairly sophisticatedly meaty ways, as in. Yeah, he's a bloke who doesn't take much shit, old Reacher, and when it happens a lot, and it does happen a lot. But it has got that kind of crazy crank kind of energy in places where he actually takes one guy out by kicking the bonnet of the car.
I saw that in the advert. Yeah, what does he think he's going to do? Bang!
Bang! And then causing the fucking airbags to go off in someone's face. But, it's silly. But it's fun. Unfortunately, I've seen it also labelled as Dad TV, so I think that's probably a bit derogatory. But we haven't got a leg to stand on apparently for that sort of thing.
Really?
No. Everyone can call it Dad TV. But anyway, it's fine. It's fine, whatever. I enjoyed it, so yes, maybe it is Dad TV. So go watch it if you want to see a guy the size of a small moon kick fuck out of basically anyone who's bad.
Yep.
And do it without much remorse. And it's quite fun. It's good fun. Mm.
So on the subject of the guy who plays Reacher, I have heard that there are certain parts of fandom out there that are suggesting that maybe James Gunn wants to employ him as the new Batman.
I don't think that would work, honestly. I do think he's a good action dude.
Physically, yes, imposing in every single way.
Yeah,
but
like
you say, it's, is he really?
No. I only if you're doing that Frank Miller Batman where he sort of like takes up a double page spread just by sort of standing on the top of a car, if that's the
stands
case,
behind big rocks as well.
Square Batman.
Yeah. If you want Square Batman,
if you want Square Batman, he's the one to have, right? As you say, the Frank Miller, his fucking thighs are bigger than all our arms put together. Then,
No, there is a couple of times where they really obviously have it feels like a lot of the time they've cast everyone else by basically going, "Are you over 5'11"? Well, you're not in because this bloke's like 8'4" or something. we need to be able to have a camera up high enough to see him and you.
Yep.
So
we're filming the next season of Reacher from the Hubble telescope. We're turning it round, pointing it down, but we can just about get him into a widescreen shot.
Yeah, personally, the way when they called it Reacher and I saw him the first time and saw how big the bloke is, I sort of thought, oh, this is just a story about a guy who can get things down from the top shelf for people. That joke again. I win. Anyway, so there's that. On a more sort of like just around the house kind of thing. On Friday, I was Carol was going out with all of her rangers, not rangers from Lord of the Rings, but the older guides kind of thing, and she was going off to some Christmas thing, and one of the mums who was helping out had to look after this dog called Bruce. Mm-hmm. And I like dogs. I'm really quite taken with dogs. I'd much rather talk to dogs than people a lot of the time. And
so what did you think of the film this week?
Rubbish sausages. Anyway, and so I said, well, I tell you what, if it makes it easier and you definitely get another mum to help along with the Rangers, I said I'll look after Bruce. I'm quite happy about that. So along comes Bruce and his little Jack Russell Terrier thing. He's quite young. And he's a bit rambunctious. He's checking everything out. He's picking things off the floor that you think, oh, I didn't even know I had that. He even found me a USB stick that was still in the packet. I don't even know where the fuck that's come from. Yeah, 256 gig as well. Nice. I didn't even remember.
Do you want to bring him round here? Because I've got some stuff I can't find.
Yeah, exactly.
Do some searching for me and all.
Yeah, but he's into everything, and that's fine. I'm totally understand what I was getting into because his little Jack Russell Terrier, they like looking around in things. That's what they do. Anyway, then he wants to go outside for a wee or whatever, and I said, all right, fine, but he's little and he can get into different places, so let's, one of us has to go out. So Lisa, my youngest daughter, said, oh, I'll go out with him. I'll go and stand in the garden while he goes outside. So goes outside. And she says, right, okay, come on, Bruce, back in. And in comes Bruce. And I'm coming back into the house. And then all of a sudden he gets the devil in him. And he turns on a dime and races off to the other side of the garden, where he finds a gap down the side of our shed.
Shit.
And he goes straight through it into next door's garden, which contains 2 Staffordshire Bull Terriers.
Smashing stuff.
And I'm like...
Oh, I bet you were happy about that, weren't you?
Oh, shit. He's like, oh, we've lost the dog. Oh, fuck. So there's Lisa kind of shouting and so, Bruce, and he's not coming at all. I grab the dog treats. I haven't put my shoes on or nothing. I literally crack it out the door, go running around the corner.
Straight into some fox shit.
Yeah, straight into some fox shit. No, I go round the corner into this bloke's house, and next door in the back of our garden is this guy, and he's very old. That's all I can say. He's very old. So he's very distrustful of people at 8:00 at night banging on his door, going, "Let me in." And I'm like,
I can see where he come.
Yeah, I see where he's coming from. I'm not judging the guy at all. But I am sitting there.
He judged you, didn't he? He judged you.
Yeah, and he's like, "What do you want? Who is it? I'm like, and I'm getting out of breath because I've just run around the corner. I'm going, my dog down the shed in your garden. He's like, oh, all right, boy, come on in. So he sort of wobbling through his house, and I'm like, oh, sorry, because I know you got the dogs and all this kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And he's like, no, not here yet at the moment, mate. So I'm thinking, oh, thank fuck for that. Go out into the garden. I literally have the treats in my hand. I shook the bag once. The dog was ping right at my feet. It's like, you little bastard.
Yeah.
So straight into air jail he went. I picked him up and stuck him under my arm, and I'm walking out the door. And as I'm walking out the door, so the old bloke's like, yeah, no worries, I know what these dogs are like, all this sort of thing. And I'm like, yeah, thank you very much. Very much appreciated, Squire. Thanks very much. Walk out the door. As I'm walking out the door, his son comes in with the staffs.
Oh, no.
And it's like a weird double take, oh my God moment, because what happens is he can't see his dad. The bloke can't see his dad. He's got hold of 2 fucking great dogs that are, shall we say, a little lively.
Mm.
Oh.
And he's looking at me like, who the fuck are you? Because I've just literally walked out of his dad's front door straight into him.
Carrying a dog.
And it's like, he's looking at me, and I thought, this is going to go bad in about several different ways. So I just looked him in the eye and I went, evening. And I just carried on walking past him. And you could just see his brain. His brain was kind of trying to do like backflips of like, what? Who? What? Why is he being so pleasant? Why has he got a dog under his back, under his shoulders? He's got these staffies, and he's like, they're both the dogs are kind of. He's like, he's looking at me. Anyway, see you later. Nice to meet you. And off I went round the corner and I like bolted it like a fucking rocket. Meanwhile, I can hear the old man going, no, he's from next door. He's from next door. His dog went through the fence. I'm like, thank fuck for that. But it's, one of those moments you just sort of think,
yeah,
I'm going to end up on the news, isn't I? This is gonna end up very badly. So that was fun. And Bruce was no longer let out into the garden for the rest of the evening.
Oh, I bet he's flipping well.
At which point he chewed on 2 pencils, a cardboard box, 3 tissue boxes. He tried to jump up and eat a piece of our decorations. Lots and lots of stuff. All fun.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And that's about it, really. I mean, Carol's birthday, we did some nice stuff for her, and been up to London to see the lights. About it, really. There's nothing real else much going on. Like I say, the other side of the family around my mum's house, staying at my mum's, has been trying. That's all I'm going to say. It's been trying. Very, very trying. Very trying. Very.
Very trying.
Very trying.
When it comes to trying, would you say it's slightly trying? A bit trying? Or very trying?
I would say it's very trying.
Very trying. Okay. Okay. That's interesting. Yes.
Very trying.
I'm picking up on a vibe. I'm not sure what it is. I'm just...
Anyway, they're going back to Ireland tomorrow, so, yes.
Beautiful.
I wish them safe travels.
I bet you do.
Anyway, moving on. That's my week. And we shall move on to some feedback, because that's the way we should go. Isn't that right?
Money plane.
Yes, that's right.
Money plane.
So, anyway, everyone.
Put your helmet on. We'll be reaching speeds of 3.
As we go into the feedback, because we actually had some on our Facebook group, which is facebook.com/groups/The Black Dog Podcast. And the feedback was for obviously Robert Kopp. Yeah, for Robert Kopp. And the first bit of feedback was from Andy Plastides of The Great Derelict and some other thing about flappy paddled cars going around in circles. I can't remember what that is. Anyone know what that is?
No, not a clue.
Cool. Just checking. Anyway, he wrote, there was a spate of film remakes around the time revisiting 80s franchises. The most notable besides Robert Kopp, sorry, he says RoboCop, but I'm going to call it Robert Kopp, was Total Recall. I don't think this was anything to do with retaining the rights, but more to do with corporate shills trying to milk nostalgia using a recognisable brand to get people to go see the film. The idea that there would be a pre-installed base, which I have to say I agree with, because it's all nostalgia, mate. There's a thing I see. I recognise a name. I clapped when I recognised it. And John Campion, he said it's weird, RoboCop this is, because Jose Padilla Jose Padilla made a couple of really good films about militarized police being given too much power, 2 Elite Squad films. Given back in 2014, there was so many interesting things that the film could have said. The originals bankrupt Detroit and overly powerful corporations had moved from dystopian fiction to fact for the most part. The themes of repressive technologies moving from the edges of country spheres of influence to their core, and the clear link to increasing police militarization would have also been prescient theme. This film just feels like a series of missed opportunities in so many ways. And Chris Johnson just says, I'll fry that for $1. Thanks. Thanks, Chris. But no, I think he's right. John's right. There's so many things that Robert Cop could have done with the themes, and it's just a real shit show of just bland, mediocre nonsense. But there you go. Martin Thompson also said, I remember seeing this in the cinema directly after the Lego movie. Now that's tonal whiplash. Yeah. And,
depends on your thoughts on the Lego movie, though, I suppose.
I suppose so. Yeah. And finally, Mike Martin said, actually, honestly, it's one of the better of the trash reboots. And Robert Lamont, the old archivist of the first generation, said, over the past month, I've had 4 tooth fillings, a crown procedure, all of which resulted in tooth abscesses, meaning the root canal is in my future. And watching this is still the most painful part of my life. So there you go. Ouch. Ouch indeed. Plus, there's also a whole slew of nice AI stuff, like by Chris Johnson, with Robert Cop on his day off, taking a bicycle ride through some forests. If you want to see that and others, then just head on over to the Facebook group, which is facebook.com/groups/The Black Dog Podcast, and join in. Send in the feedback if you want to do that. Right, I think we'll call a break on it now. We shall go off. I will try and kill off this Dropbox pop-up that's it seems like it wants me to do stuff, so you can fuck off. Right. And I will call a break on this. We'll roll the jingle, and then we'll be back for Fallen. Because, nothing says Christmas like body-swapping demons. Roll a jingle. Right, so Fallen is a 1998 American supernatural thriller film directed by Gregory Hoblit. It might have been better with Gregory Hoblit, yeah.
Gregory Hobbit?
Yes, you Gregory Hobbit and your guns. Yeah.
Give Frodo the ring, quickly.
Yeah, we are going on an adventure. Gregory Hoblit dug too deep, too greedy. You shall not hoblet. Anyway, sorry.
You shall not direct.
Gregory Hoblit. God almighty, we're off. Gregory Hoblit, produced by Charles Roven and Dawn Steele, from a screenplay by Nicholas Kazan, and Denzel Washington plays a Philadelphia police detective who's investigating occult murders committed by an apparent copycat killer. John Goodman, Donald Sutherland, M. Beth Davis, James Gandolfini, Elias Koteas also star. The film was released January the 16th, 1998, and had a budget of 46, not 100, no, we're back in the 90s, a budget of $46 million. How much did it make at the box office, Elton?
Hang on.
Hang on. Hang about.
4 coffee cups that have been blown into. There we go.
Okay, there you go. Nice. Blowing into the coffee cups. And Darren, what about you?
It made 200 packets of cornflakes.
Neatly organised. Yeah. Well, you're wrong. It made 7 mysterious cats. No, sorry. It made $25.2 million, which means it was a flop.
Oh.
Big old flopperoonie. Because it made half its budget. And that budget doesn't even count for advertising and all that kind of nonsense. So it really did kind of go...
Straight to VHS, then, I'm guessing.
Well, probably. But there you go. Yeah, I won't obviously go through the wiki, but then again, there's no point because the wiki is so small. I think I could probably write it on the back of my hand and still have space for the shopping list. So it's not really, shall we say, a well researched, well loved film. So we'll just go around the table for the non-spoilery thing. And Darren, you picked it, so you go last. So we'll start with you, Elton.
I quite enjoyed it. I think it was a film that grew on me as I was watching it, though.
Mm-hmm.
It's starting off, I think I was expecting more. And it hit me in the 90s immediately.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah, the 90s stood up and kind of waved all their baggy clothing in my face. Oh, okay. Oh, yes, right. Yes. But I think I enjoyed it. I definitely liked the third act. But a third act does not make a great film.
No.
I think you have to be entertained all the way through. And I think there was a moment in the middle where I was kind of checking out and going, it's not going anywhere. It's kind of treading water. And then the meme hit me in the face, which I wasn't ready for that. I wasn't expecting that meme. Sorry?
Denzel meme, yeah? Is that the Denzel
the Denzel
meme?
one, yeah.
What Denzel meme?
It's the one where he sits there and he looks relieved, and it's like,
Oh, yeah.
Well, he sat at the desk with John
Goodman,
John Goodman, talking to him, and he does that sense of relief. I can't remember what they're talking about now, but I recognise that. I've used that one myself.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Like, that's where it came from. Right.
Yeah, I didn't know that at all.
I didn't even recognise it. Hold on, I'm going to look it up while you carry on talking. Go on.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, just look up like relief or something like that. Not on the internet.
No, don't.
Type in relief. Slow relief.
People use AI these days to make videos and
Denzel relief gif.
Yeah, there you go.
Wow. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I know it. Yes, I do recognise it now.
Yeah.
I'm just glad I didn't put relief gif because my safe search is off. Anyway, go on.
Whoops.
But yeah, I think apart from the kind of lull in the middle, I'm not saying I guessed the ending, but I think when we were heading to where we were going, I was like, right, okay, this is going to happen. And I nearly got it. I didn't quite, but I nearly got it. I think I came away enjoying it, though. And it was nice to see James Gandolfini.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Love that dude.
You fucking asshole. Anyway, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Time is on my side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I think I came away enjoying it. So
nice. Cool. For me, I've never seen this film before. However, what I will say is that I spent most of the running time trying to work out what book I had read back in the 80s, mid-80s, when I was reading lots of books. I was kind of devouring them at one point. And I can't remember what one it was, and it still eludes me right now, but it is a mid-80s book. Oh, and I really wish that Jim was here right now, because I'm sure he'd be able to help me. And it had exactly this plot.
It's probably me. I probably lent you the novelisation of this.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't Fallen.
No,
it wasn't. It wasn't a novelisation. It wasn't in the 90s. It was in the 80s. Right. Definitely in the 80s, because I was just fresh out of school. So that was when I was working at Copeland's, and it was like sort of like 86, 87.
Yeah.
And I read something, and I've got in my mind everything except the fact that there's a conversation with the demon and the cop, and they're sitting in a room, and basically the demon's sort of like, yeah, you've got me, but as soon as you leave me, I'm going to slip my wrists and I'll come back and see you in a minute. And then he kind of does that, and everyone panics, and as they do that, another guy walks into the interview room and says, see you real soon, and walks back out. I can't remember what the bloody thing is, but essentially it's beat for beat this film. So I'm not saying I worked it out. I'm saying that I think someone else has done a story which either this is based off of or something, but I had every moment plotted on a graph in my head. And it's not because the film was derivative, hardly, far from it. But it was because I'd obviously read something somewhere, and I was like, he's going to get him by being out here. It's almost like a Dean Koontz book or something like that, or a Stephen King. And I knew how he was going to trap the bad guy and sort him out. and so that kind of coloured my perception of the film, because I was kind of sitting there watching it going, this is a good, what I'd call a sort of mid 80s, early 90s. Actually, it's not. It's late 90s, isn't it? But it is that sort of that high concept idea. You know, you could see that it was kind of around sort of like your sort of Sevens and all that kind of thing were kind of coming out of that round about that time of all this kind of idea of let's just put a twist on the supernatural twist on the serial killer thing. Because you had what's that shitty one with the geezer from X-Files, Shocker?
Yes. Yeah. Oh God, I remember renting that. I was way too young to be renting that.
Yeah, with another serial killer, but he was traveling through electricity, wasn't he, or something?
That's
like that.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Yeah, and then there was an X-Files episode that was very similar to this as well. So there was all that kind of thing, all kind of feeding in. So
it has that 90s feel and X-Files feel to it anyway, doesn't it?
Definitely. So what I'm trying to get round to in my short quote unquote opening review is that I liked it. I wasn't blown away by it, and I think that's partly because I kind of literally, for whatever reason, had it all plotted out in my head and where it was going to go before it even started. As soon as I saw Elias Koteas disappearing and you got that kind of bird's eye view, I was like, I know where this is going. But it's not the film's fault, so I'm not banging it for that. I was just like, yeah. So, yeah, overall, thumbs up, but I think I've seen it before. Darren, what about you?
I still really enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
Watching it today, I thought it was a nice, as you say, it's a nice little sort of supernatural twist on the serial killer angle. You know, and they had a good cast in it as well. And I did like some of the nice little ideas they had in this, which I'll get to once we start talking about it and go spoiler.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah. In all, still enjoyed watching it. And I couldn't quite remember the end. I remembered where it was going. I remembered in the end what the get out was for this, but I couldn't remember. I didn't catch the very last, the tiny bit where he was talking about. Let me tell you how I almost died.
Yeah,
and it's like I don't remember because I thought he got done completely, but yeah.
Okay. Cool. Right. Okay. Well, we'll leave it there. For the non-spoilery bit. Even though it is a bit of a spoiler, the film is on Amazon Prime. If you want to watch it before you hear the rest of the review. The other thing I would say is I think Amazon Prime, it's in the list under limited time remaining.
Yeah.
So I think it will be going at some point. So if you are going to watch it, hopefully you'll watch it sooner rather than later, because it will eventually just up sticks and bugger off. So, yes, we'll leave it there. Let's roll a jingle of some kind, anything to just tell us that we're doing the spoiler zone, because after this, we can say what we like. So, what button shall I pick for the spoiler zone? Oh, I know.
Tetsu Canada!
There you go. That'll do.
Well, look at that.
Well, looky here. The start of the Elton AI.
Tetsu Canada!
There you go.
Flip it out.
And so it begins. Okay, so we're in the spoiler zones now. So, take that as whatever. If you want to listen to this, that's fine. Yes. But bear in mind we are going to spoil things. Oh! I think I've just found it. I think I just found my story. It's in the Clive Barker's Books of Blood. There you go. Brilliant.
Oh, there you are.
There you go. Brilliant. Okay, cool. Sorry, I wasn't trying to just skip around it. I just put supernatural serial killer books, 1980s, and surprisingly enough, my Google Fu worked. It didn't last night. I was driving myself fucking mental. Anyway, right, so let's get down to it. So the film overall, we think we generally like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interestingly, do you think? Okay. Do you think that the supernatural element was well done? The reason I say this is because it kind of all gets backloaded at the end. You know, everything gets discovered, and everyone just kind of accepts what's going on. How do you feel about that? Were you on board with the supernatural elements from the start, or were you kind of like, really? Because you know it started off so procedural.
I was fine with it.
Yeah.
The reason I watched this in the first place was, way back then when it came out was because I knew of the supernatural angle on this, and I thought it sounded really interesting. So, yeah.
Okay.
I had no trouble with it at all. It was one of the reasons I turned up. That's it.
Okay. Fair enough. What about you, Elton?
I think I had problems with it a little bit. Just getting into grips with it. I think once I discovered it kind of was an X-Files episode, then I was more on board. But I think the first half, I could see what was happening. I'm not too sure if I like the visuals that they used.
That was going to be my next question, but yeah, go on.
Yeah, I'm not too sure if I liked it or not. I think it was a good thing, but I think it dates it a little bit.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think you said this last week, Darren, with Denzel Washington. Is this his only like supernatural type movie that he's ever done? Or did he do like Bones or something as well? I'm not too.
No,
Bone Collector?
He did the Bone Collector with Ashley Judd, but that was more of just a straightforward serial killer movie,
right?
This one, I think, is the only horror movie he's done.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe it's because of that you don't quite attach him to this sort of movie, and so either it works or it doesn't. And I think I did struggle in the first half with it.
Well, okay, then that brings me to the next thing, because this was kind of like, I can't remember. I'll have to Google it, but I think this was slightly in front of 7. How do you feel about, like, did you think because you had the bigger stars, you had your Donald Sutherlands, your John Goodman, Denzel Washington,
it's a great cast, isn't it?
I mean, it's a great cast, isn't it?
Yeah, fantastic cast. I mean, nice and solid. That
and does it in some way make it a more legitimate horror? Because I think around that time, I think I'm right in saying you weren't getting like big stars in big horror movies. You were getting stars who were kind of on the way out, kind of dropping into horror movies like your Donald Pleasances and that kind of thing. But you weren't getting like big A-list stars in horror movies. So did it give it a bit more legitimacy? Did it make it feel different? I'm only asking because the thing is that I think that's one of those things. It was like, kind of, you watch the film and you're sitting there going, "Wow, there's Denzel Washington. This is a more serious movie." You know what I mean? It feels more like a proper movie, like a serious movie. There's not going to be no silly shenanigans of going down in basements and having roofs fall on. Oh, all right then. Hang on.
He's always felt like an A-lister anyway, hasn't he?
Oh God, yeah.
Always been an A, and Donald Sutherland has been an A-lister as well. I think John Goodman worked his way up there, didn't he? From Roseanne all the way up to that. But I think once you have someone like that in it, you just go along for the ride with whatever's. You feel like you're in safe hands straight away, and so there's no trepidation going into a movie like this. Going, well, it's a kind of mystery horror movie, and I don't know the cast, and I'm not too sure if I'm going to enjoy it or not. But as soon as you see this cast, you should be. Okay, I'm in safe hands. They wouldn't have signed up if they weren't happy with what's going on here,
Mm.
so it should be good.
Mm.
So I think that takes that risk out of everything.
Okay.
I think it's the way that they adapt it, though. And the first thing I did think of was Shocker.
Right.
When we first saw the opening to this movie.
Mm.
And now I haven't seen Shocker since I rented it when I was very, very young. Way too young for renting that thing out.
Mm.
But I came back from the shop. I went, I rented this. And my dad went, really?
Mm.
Okay, I'm watching that first before you're watching that. I was way too young to be renting that. But because it's got the electric chair in there, and I think a lot of people would go to the Green Mile before anything else. But Shocker is the first thing that pops into my head and compare it to.
Mm-hmm.
And I like everything that went on with it. I think the transition between people was my only downfall in this, really.
What, the hopping between people thing?
Well, the way that it was done. But I think they had to show that it was in I think I did like it. I'm still torn as to whether I did or didn't.
Okay. What about you, Dal?
I really liked it. I
Yeah?
like that scene where the woman's running up the street and the demon's just like, touching individuals and going through them to try and get to her.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I love that. And the bit in the office where Denzel Washington's sitting there and James Gandolfini is going, I noticed you were looking at a map last night.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm not evil at all. Where was that map going to? Where did you go?
Where are you off to? You want to tell us? Where you're going?
Oh, okay, then we'll just forget about it.
Yeah.
So, how's that map reading coming for you?
Yeah. Is it okay? You finding your way? Is it okay?
Get out for your mental health as well as your physical. Okay, then maybe you don't want to tell me. Okay, we'll just leave it alone.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. There was lots of interesting sequences like that, wasn't there, with the demon? I mean, I like the way they used it, and you kind of got that feeling of being trapped, the unease, the sort of like paranoia.
Definitely the paranoia, because it can be anyone. There was that moment where he chased it into the street, and then that woman started talking to him, and then he kind of lost track of where it was. I really liked that. I thought that was really good.
Yeah. So I mean, okay. So the whole so what about the demon itself? I mean, let's just the rules it follows, the things it does. I mean, how go on, because I know you'll have some thought on that, Dal. Go on.
There's one plot hole in of this film.
Yeah.
Right. This film could have been over in 5 minutes.
Go on.
Over in 5 minutes.
Go on.
So we have the rule about the fact that, if it's just touching someone, then there are going to be some people that it can't jump into for some reason, right? They've got a certain property about themselves that stops it. But no one is immune to spiritual transfer when they die. Yeah. So why didn't it just, when he got in the thingy chamber, the gas chamber, why not just fly out to John Hobbs and take him then?
Okay, I mean, I read that as it was obsessed with John Hobbs. It wasn't, because it had brought him in. Yeah. He had brought it in, and he was inherently a good person. And to me, that felt like a sort of thing it wanted to play with.
Mm-hmm.
So I got the sense that the whole thing was more about the creature just toying with him.
Yeah.
It could have done it at any point. You're absolutely right. It could have just taken him out in like 10 seconds flat. Yeah. But it didn't. And
it could have done it when he shot the bloke as well.
Oh,
could
yeah.
have done it then.
Yeah.
I don't think he wanted to hurt Denzel or John Hobbs.
No.
No, he wanted to ruin him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was like the yin to its yang.
Yeah, it was. And also, I think there's a whole thing about, like, that was kind of it was kind of portrayed that he was holier than holy, wasn't he? Really, old John Hobbs. You know, he wouldn't turn anyone in, but because he thought, you know, what they were doing was righteous and good. But he also was, you know, he was fully on the side of the angels, if you know what I mean, because he wasn't taking bribes. He was looking after his brother, who was also looking after his, you know, nephew. There was, you know, this whole thing of doing everything by the book, being absolutely on the money, being really good, not drinking, not smoking, etc., etc., etc. And so it was more of a game to corrupt him, to drive him over the edge, to fuck about with him. Really, I thought.
Yeah,
he could have done it at any point. Azizel. Yeah, so to me that wasn't a plot hole as much as it was a kind of interesting, an interesting wrinkle in the game. It was the serial killer being obsessed with the one guy who was kind of like uncorruptible. That's how I read it, anyway. Yeah. I mean, the one thing I kind of didn't quite gel for me.
Yeah.
Was the whole thing about the dirty cop or the not dirty cop who went and offed himself in the middle of the forest, and what the whole point of that was in terms of why Donald Sutherland was all about, you know, you haven't heard it from me, but stay the fuck away from this all the time. Because it kind of implied that he knew something more than he was saying. And all the way through it, I was expecting Donald Sutherland to go, oh, Azizel, let me tell you about Azizel. And he never did. It just turned into we just don't want to talk about the cop killing himself.
There was also the contradiction of, I don't want to know what you know.
Yeah.
And then later on he goes, what do you know?
Yeah.
Donald, I was really enjoying this.
Yeah.
This is pretty solid.
Yeah.
And you went, why would you say that? Why?
Be more constructive with your feedback. Why? Why?
Well, clearly this game has been played before, and it'll be played again, and until the heat death of the universe. So I think this was just another case of they don't know what they're dealing with. They don't know why. One of their colleagues went a bit doolally, ended up offered himself in a cabin in the woods, and nobody knows why. But it was clearly down to this demon that was going around and taunting them. I quite like the ambiguity of that, though. I like that it's not. You don't have Donald coming out and doing his JFK. Hang on, here's a load of
exposition dump.
Exposition. Here we go. Here's another 20 minutes. Sit back. This is the Oscar moment. Type thing.
Welcome to story time.
Yeah. Are you sitting comfortably? Then I shall begin.
Yes.
So I appreciate it for that. But it gives you a hint of something's happened before. And it gives you that trail as well. I'm just a bit... I'm not too sure if okay. I'm thinking about 100 miles an hour in my head, so I'm doing four sentences at once.
Deep breath.
I quite like the dodgy narrator in films. I really like that.
The unreliable narrator?
Yeah. I like it. Is it a thing you don't like?
This film did two things, and it had to fight very hard to get me back. I'll be perfectly honest with you. One of my...
Let me guess.
Go on.
First one is start at the end.
Yes. You know me too well.
Scratch.
I watched that first bit and I thought, Lee's already Lee's already giving it side eye. I could feel the breeze as your eye went sideways.
It snapped sideways so hard that I nearly span around on its axis into the back of my head. I just no, just never start at the end. I don't care how clever you fucking think you are not clever enough to pull that shit off and make me engaged. As it was, this film got me distracted enough that I forgot about it. So it was like, fair play, thumbs up. But fuck you for starting like that, because as soon as I did that, I thought, well, it doesn't matter what happens to him throughout the film, he's going to get to this point, and that's when he's going to be in trouble. So it's like, you immediately pop the fucking tension like a balloon. So
I think it would have worked better had they just had a black screen and just gone, let me tell you about the time I almost died.
Yeah.
And then gone straight into it.
Yeah.
Don't say anything else. Just do that. And then at the end, it was the demon talking all along. Oh, you cheeky demon. Pazuzu and your
the three-legged dog is America. Yeah. It's so real now. The other thing is narration.
Mm-hmm.
See, I do like narration if it's done well. But again, the problem I have with narration is it either has to be the character talking to you or the character talking to another character. It's sort of like, so you're getting like a voiceover of a flashback sort of thing.
Yeah.
Let me tell you how it went down.
Yeah, let me tell you about a guy I know. Anyway, so it yeah. This is a story about how I sorry.
I bet you're wondering how I got into this position in the first place.
Yeah.
Well, let's start from the beginning.
Yeah.
I realized I'd fucked up like a Twinkie. Like a
Twinkie. Yeah, and so if you're talking to another person and you're doing it through flashback, okay, fine. It's not my cup of tea. It's not the best way of doing it, but I get it. I understand. You're getting to a point, and then the story will go past the narration and carry on.
Yeah.
If you're just doing a narration straight to the audience, then you've got a fourth wall break. And as soon as you're fourth wall breaking, it feels wrong when you're watching a police procedural, because what you're I mean, other people might disagree, but when you've got someone talking to you like that and explaining the world, that tells me two things. One, the audience doesn't understand what the fuck's going on, or two, the director, writer, whoever doesn't trust the audience to understand what's going on. So I'm going to now explain it to you. And the thing is, if you're going to do that, have it go through the whole film. Don't just bring it up when you suddenly think, "Oh, we could have shot another scene to explain this, but you know what? We gave up, so we'll just have Denzel come in for a day and go, yeah. So what I was doing was going to drive over here, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to see this person, and I'm going to give him some money. Why?
There were only 4 bits of it in this, wasn't there?
Exactly, and it was literally like cut and paste.
Yeah,
it was not. Yeah. It was not because there was actual narration going on. It was because we couldn't be bothered to shoot these fucking scenes. Why was I going over here? Well, you might ask yourself that, but you know what? Yeah. So did the cast and crew, so I'm here to explain it to you. I got in the car because I had no toilet roll.
I'm here to save $20 million on 4 extra scenes. Here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's Waylon Jennings. Well, you may wonder why those Juke boys... No, he's not the Juke. What? Oh.
Just a good old boy. Never muted.
My apologies.
I may be nothing more than a humble space chicken, but I'm here to explain to you what's been going on in the last 2 scenes.
Uncle Jesse found himself battling a demon. No, he's not Uncle Jesse. He's John Hobbs. What? Oh.
Mr. Hobnob.
I'm sorry. My apologies. Yeah.
John Hobbs has been running a moonshine racket for at least...
Boss Hoggs has been fighting a demon. All right, whatever. It's close enough.
Yeah, we'll edit it in post. We'll just cut the bits out. So, yeah, so that's the thing. I don't like narration if the narration is literally there to paste over the gaps.
Unless it's done by Waylon Jennings.
Unless it's done by Waylon Jennings or done by a very bored Harrison Ford.
Yep.
Because that's just hilariously awful. Yeah. But anyway,
I don't know. What's his name? Did it well? Oh man, I've forgotten his name now. Hang on. Carry on. I'm gonna have to Google a name. I'm just gonna have to shout out a name in a second.
Oh God, leave it all quiet so we can use that for another one for another AI clip.
Joe Pesci. There we go. Joe Pesci did it.
Joe Pesci. When did he do it?
Shall I say?
Go on in.
I don't want to give away anything, but you know.
Yeah, please tell us when did?
Yeah.
Casino.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, all right.
I was going to say I haven't heard Mr. Pesci's name being mentioned on Audible on any books recently. Obviously, he doesn't do that much in the way of narration.
Yeah.
Or
The Cat in the Hat by Joe Pesci. I got this fucking cat, and this fucking cat's in a fucking hat.
50 Shades of Grey by Joe Pesci.
Well, there you go.
I'm gonna fuck you. You're not funny to you.
I'm going to tie you up. I'm going to smack your ass.
The Zen and the art of relaxation. Firstly, what you gotta do is you gotta get looking and fucking them up, and you gotta look them in the eye and fuck them up. Deep breath in, deep breath out. What am I, a fucking clown to you? What's all this deep breath shit? They fuck you at the drive-through. Anyway,
That was Joe Pesci with the spoken instruction manual for the Breville toaster.
You stick the fucking toast in the bread maker. What you fucking want from me, you mook? Anyway.
What you want? Waffles? Get a fucking waffle maker.
Yeah. Hey, that ain't my thing. That ain't my thing. I'm gonna fuck you up. Joe Pesci paints Bob Ross. So you get these fucking brushes, you stick them over the fucking canvas. Fucking liquid white. What do you want?
Then you beat the hell out of it.
You're gonna fucking whack him. I'm gonna fucking whack you. Whack him up. Beat it like it owes you money.
Shake it like a Polaroid picture.
Joe Pesci sings The Outcast.
Shake it. Shake it. Shake it. Shake it like a Polaroid picture.
What, am I funny to you?
How is it him and Gilbert Gottfried never did any work together like that? That would have been great.
Hey, Joe, what you doing?
It'd just be a constant whine going upwards, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
It'd be like a dynamo charging. Yeah. Anyway, back to the film. Joe Pesci's relaxation tape. It'd be like the fucking Daleks' relaxation tape.
Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Just let it go, motherfucker.
You're in a fucking field, but don't worry, I'm not gonna fucking whack you or nothing. This baseball bat's purely for show.
Do you ever think when they were like, introducing him and they say like he's part of a crew for a film, they said Lethal Weapons Joe Pesci, ignoring all the amazing films that he's done. It's like Lethal Weapons Joe Pesci. That's it. That's all you're going to be remembering.
Loaded Weapons.
Loaded Weapons Joe Pesci.
Oh no, that was John Lovitz when it played in
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah.
So, am I gonna be okay? Yeah, you'll be fine. Zipping up the body bag. Anyway, right. I don't know where we were.
I don't know either.
Are we done? Are we finished? Is this it? Can we go home early?
Yeah, go on then.
No, it's cool. So the narration and the starting at the end thing really fucking winds me up. And it's a testament to the movie that I didn't just immediately turn it off and decide to read the wiki instead.
Has that always been a thing, though?
For me,
Yeah.
Yeah. From fucking Carlito's Way to even to like Thor, Thor Ragnarok. It just you need if you need to start at the end and then tell me how you got there, you're going to have to work fucking hard to make me forget that you are going to be all right until that point.
Yeah.
And if you are going to be all right until that point, I know that you've already got something up your sleeve, because otherwise you wouldn't be narrating the blasted thing to me. The only one that does the narration and sort of knocks you for six because you don't realise what's going on is American Beauty. But even that sort of spells it out for you at the start, and you go, oh, all right then. Well,
see, that's a film I haven't seen in a long, long time.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to be watching that for a while.
No, somehow I don't think that's aged well. You know, considering certain things have happened. You know,
yeah, that might be what they currently call an uncomfortable watch.
Yeah.
So it's always been a thing for me that if you start at the end and then try and get me interested. The worst one, just going off on a tangent for a second, the worst one of all, the biggest, most heinous fucking one of the lot is Catch Me If You Can.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah.
Because you know what? Fucking Catch Me If You Can doesn't just say, I suppose you wonder how I got here. It does the thing of sticking Leo DiCaprio in a game show where you have to guess who he is, and then the game show host reads out three things, and the first thing is like completely wrong. It's like, oh, he's a bus driver. Then the next one says, oh, he was a fisherman on the sea or something like that. And then all of a sudden the last one goes, or he was a con man who conned the FBI for 12 years while being a pilot, a train driver, a stockbroker, a doctor, and it goes, and it literally lists out the entire film, and it goes, before he was caught in 1962 by the Federal Bureau of Investigation, blah, 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 because of a check fraud. And you go, oh, I don't need to see this. And it's like, guess which one of them did this? And then you go across the line, and there's like blokey bloke face you've never seen before in your life. There's Lady McNothing person over there, and then there's fucking Leonardo DiCaprio trying to look inconspicuous on the fucking end, and then the camera zooms in on his face, and it's like, why am I going to sit here for another hour and 15 minutes? Hour and 20 minutes?
I flipping love that movie.
Yeah, but it fucking does, doesn't it? Tell me I'm wrong. It spells the entire movie out in the first 5 minutes. And it's like, oh, right, fine. Carlito's Way is the other one, bang. Oh, I'm dying. Why am I dying? Well, sometimes it just happens the way, and he starts monologuing. You're monologuing that you're dying, and you're now going to show me how you die. I don't give a fuck. You're dead, mate. Why would I care? It's done. It's happened. It's like, right? Lovely. Thanks. I mean, it's like one of those things you see on Reddit, two line horror stories. And the first line is monster at the door, second line dead. Right, okay. Right, brilliant. Thanks, fantastic for that. I'll sit here for another 6 hours while that plot plays out. It's just like, fuck off. Prequels are like that as well, but that's just another matter. Anyway, back to the film. I was going to say the ending.
Yeah, okay.
Right? Two things.
In the snow, it's a Christmas movie.
No, it's not a Christmas movie just because it's in the snow. It doesn't work that way.
We're watching this in December. It's a Christmas movie.
Yeah. Now it's a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
Now we've laid it out. Actually, it was in January, wasn't it? It was actually released in January, so it was made over Christmas. But no, I was going to say, just before we get to the ending, there's the whole thing where Demon Azazel, or whatever he's called, we'll call him Azzy, Iggy Azalea. Iggy Azalea.
So fancy.
So fancy. And then we go. Anyway, so old Iggy.
Yeah.
Yeah. has bounced around all the world and bounced around all these people and set him up. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
How is it that a guy with so much alibi, because he's seen by so many people in so many places with so many motives and things that can easily be explained away, how come he's framed? It's like, oh, you shot a teacher, and it's like everyone's going, yeah, but the teacher pulled a gun and he shouted very clearly in the street in front of hundreds of people, put the gun down, and then shoots him. And then people go, oh, but it had blanks in it. You shouldn't have shot him. It's like, what? That's not framing.
Yeah, that's not a defense nowadays.
No.
Could be a table leg. No, still shoot him. Put 4 bullets into him.
Yeah,
it's fine.
Yeah, in a world where someone can jump a barrier at fucking fucking tube station and get put down, I don't think we're really in that position of worrying about whether a guy's got blanks. Excuse me, are you going to shoot me with blanks, or are you threatening me with a real gun? I'll wait for you to fire before I take a guess.
With regards to the plot, though, I think the demon jumped into that woman, and she gave an interview. Yeah, I think you saw it for the briefest moment where she was just basically setting him up for that.
Yeah, I get that, but that was after the police had already been there and taken a number of statements from hundreds of people, including the old lady and all that kind of thing, because they was actually standing there going, she's going, oh yeah, no, he clearly had the gun out and the guy was clearly going to shoot him and all this sort of thing. And John Goodman goes, oh yeah, we've got enough witnesses, you know, nothing, you did nothing wrong. Then all of a sudden, Donald Sutherland turns up and goes, yes, well, you know, you didn't have any bullets in there or it was blanks. It's like, that's not a setup.
See, now Donald Sutherland, he plays it weird. You're supposed to think that he's the devil as well. The way that he acts, he's a bit
woo, bit way.
Yeah, and then he's going, oh, you know, we can't. We got our man. We got the thing. You know, go back to the station and we'll sort it all out. Blah blah blah. And you're supposed to think that he's. I think this is setting up for the very finale at the cabin, where you think you can't trust him. Is something in there? It's controlling him. We're not too sure. And then he turns up at the cabin, but it's not him. And so you think, oh, okay, he's just acting a bit of a dick. And he's relieved that it's all over. And then shit goes down. So I think his character's... it's borderline mistrusting.
But it doesn't make... Does it make sense to you, Dal? I mean, because this is probably my only sticking point, really. I mean, apart from the starting at the end and the fucking shit, you know, last applause narration.
Yeah.
Does the framing work? Because the thing is there's a bit with there's a whole thing about coins and his fingers, fingerprints all over it, and it's like you only see the coin once at the beginning of the film.
Yeah.
And never again. So it's never referred to ever again. And it just suddenly pops up, oh, he's got a coin with your number. There's a coin that's placed at the scene. And it's like, yeah, but he was at the scene. He was an investigator at the scene. Could he not have just forgot the coin?
Well, if I've got to be honest, mate, he doesn't help himself during this film. And I'll tell you for why.
Go on.
He finds his brother dead in bed. What does he go and do? He puts his fingerprints all over the murder weapon. He picks it up with his hand. He's not like doing what, because when he comes in, he's like, I'm looking at it thinking, oh, he's gone into detective mode. He's put his emotions to one side for a minute there, and he's examining the crime scene. And then he picks up the bloody syringe in his hand and starts spinning it around in there. It's like, why don't you just blow your nose all over it as well while you're here, mate?
Yeah, how's that DNA evidence?
Yeah,
is it good?
There's none of this, like, you know, getting like a handkerchief out of his pocket or picking up a T-shirt or something like this and, you know, just examining the actual weapon. No, he picks out with both hands. He's like, oh, fuck, I better go on the run. And it's like, well, maybe if you hadn't picked up that syringe, then maybe you wouldn't have to go on the run at all for this. So there were bits like that. This supposedly super cop,
Mm.
and he makes such schoolboy fucking errors by doing what he did.
Yes.
But you don't know if his fingerprints are all over that syringe before he goes in that room. Because he doesn't know what he did that night.
What night? The
night his brother died.
So are you saying that the demon actually did take him over?
It could have. There's no because he asked the son whether he remembers anything at all, and he remembers something being itchy and scratchy or tickling him on his chest.
Yeah, but he found the window. He found the latch on the window broken. That's the thing.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. So the guy's come through playing his game. He's sort of like drawn the thing on the kid's chest. And then gone over and done what he needs to do. So really, unless he goes and commits suicide and he does it outside the bloke's window, he's not going to, that whole thing of it's not going to be Denzel Washington. He's one of the chosen ones.
Yeah. It's probably the only of all the stuff. It's probably the only bit that really feels a bit fumbled to me, because it feels like again, much like the narration. It feels like there was probably more of a film, probably cut down. So like Elias Koteas before he dies, nicking the coin, or when he touches Denzel. And he touches him and grabs him and then sort of nicks the coin. If he nicked the coin, you could sort of go, I see.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was about to sneeze there, but
I've just had a thought.
Go on.
Would Denzel be too pure or too good to possess?
Well, that was the thing, wasn't it? He tried to do that right at the start. He tried to do that. He said, shake your hand. You're a good man. And he couldn't. And that's why he starts speaking Aramaic or whatever the fuck it is. And then, starts doing the whole "I'll see you soon," because that's part of the teasing, isn't it? That's
but I'm thinking at the very end where he shoots his mate, his partner Jonesy. That's the point where he comes. Hang on, right now I can, for a better phrase, enter you,
madam.
Tom is entering you now.
But at that point, then he's committed a murder, and he has, and so he can take one breath and then enter Denzel Washington.
Take a breath and enter Denzel. Right.
Enter the Washington.
Joe Pesci presents Take a Breath, Enter Washington.
What are you going to do? Fuck him in the ass? What do you want? You going to enter Denzel? What's that mean? What the fuck's that mean?
But, I mean...
Sorry, it all just clicked in my head.
No, it's cool. It's cool. That's absolutely fine. I will be honest with you. I just think the setup was a bit clumsy. And it feels like... much like the reason for the narration, that it was all just chucked in there because they either ran out of time, ran out of money, or the scriptwriter wasn't quite good enough to pull off the additional information that it was needed.
Question about movie making then, okay?
Okay.
Now, I'm not too sure why they do it, and I know they film movies out of sequence a lot of the time, don't they?
Yes.
Almost all the time. Now, is this maybe a failing of that?
No, because there's a number of things. Like there's a script editor, there's people who break down scenes and shots and all that kind of stuff. Directors and all that sort of thing, and then production managers. Because the reason they film things out of order is because there may be like 10 scenes on this street from this angle, and we've only got this street for 2 days.
Yeah, get them all done.
So they do them all in the same place at the, as fast as they can, with the same setup, so they don't have to set up again, because it's studio setup or a lighting setup or whatever is still going to take a day. So if you think about it, just to take all the lights down and all the blue screens and everything else that they put in the physical effects and whatnot and craft services and everyone else, you have to pull all that stuff in, set it all up, which is probably like a day, 2 days ahead of when they actually film. And then they have to dismantle it as fast as they can and get the fuck out of Dodge, especially if you're filming in like streets, because you've got to lock those streets down.
Yeah.
So either way, the fastest you're going to do it is going to be like first thing in the morning, film the shots, get the fuck out. So you get it in a day, 2 days. Every day you spend doing the setup and takedown is money that you're spending on not actually filming.
Yeah.
So the idea is to film as much as you can with the setup you've got. So that's why studios are a lot better, because what they do is they have a studio for set. Like use Empire Strikes Back, because I know that had that better than most films. They had a studio which literally just had the Millennium Falcon in it, the full size Millennium Falcon on air pads that they could just sort of shift around. And then what they do is they dress the set around the outside. So when it's in the worm, and when it's in the Hoth hangar, they aren't building the ship and then rebuilding it somewhere else. All they're doing is they're just stripping down the exterior of the set and then just putting some shit on the floor and turning the lights off.
Yeah.
And going, oh, we're in a monster's mouth now. So it's all, that's why studio stuff gets made quicker and cheaper than when you're filming, filming in Ghostbusters, for example, where they had to shut off like whole streets of New York. Can't do that. Or you do that, but it costs a lot of money. And so you try to film as much as you can in one block, and then base that block around like availability of the actors, other shots that are going on, availability of the crew, all sorts of things. So that's why they film things out of order. But there should be a script and scene supervisor and continuity editor and continuity supervisors and all sorts of things that keep an eye on, this is what's happening, this is where you are, this is where we are in the film.
Yeah.
And that all comes off the script. When they first get the script, they'll break that shit down before they so much as film a single frame.
Yeah, but sometimes that script changes and sometimes they don't have that script as
which is why they do storyboards, and which is why they plan shots, and why a lot of this stuff now is post-production. Is sort of like they'll film everything as much as they can. That's why you get everything in B-roll and sort of additional and they do it in 2 camera, 3 camera. Mm-hmm. So they're filming the same thing from 3 different angles, so that they've got what they call coverage, and they can chop it up and edit it down and fix it in post. But yeah, in the older movies, when they had to shut off entire streets instead of just putting it in a CG dome, they used to that's the thing. If they got it wrong, if there was bits missing and they had to do reshoots, then fair enough, they do reshoots. But that usually comes because they've edited the film together. So a film is
missing a bit.
Yeah, and the film is made or broken in the edit room in the end, because it is, it's we don't want that bit, cut it out. Or the director looks at the film in the first draft and goes, could probably use a scene of Denzel saying this, or we could have a scene of this guy going into this room to make more context of, why he's there, or something like that. It's not a case of just losing a scene. It's more a case of a choice and money that will stop a film from being, complete.
Yeah, I still think that Donald Sutherland character, though, may have lost something because of I don't know.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's that's going back to what I was saying before. The narration and all this kind of thing was there because they didn't have the money, or because they suddenly put the film together and gone, fuck, we need more scenes to explain certain things because the script has missed a bit.
See, I think the way that Donald Sutherland's character was, I think that's more of a cheat than actually starting at the the end and then have a narration over the top.
In what way?
Because you're curious and you got your eye on him because you don't quite trust him the way that he acts. And in the end, it turns out, it's all right. When he comes up to the cabin and you got Jonesy there as well, and it's all a bit, well, hang on, we know that this demon is there somewhere because we've seen his perspective. So we know he's there. And then Donald Sutherland comes walking out and gives all this monologue about, just put the gun down, let me put the cuffs on. And he's sus. If I was playing Among Us, I'd be running into the room and hitting the button because you're sus. And it's a cheat. It's a bit of a cheat.
Okay. Did you think it was a cheat, Dal?
I don't know. His character just seemed to. I think his character just changed with the wind. Really, it's that whole thing of none of this. Look, I know what my bosses are telling me, but I don't believe for a minute that you're guilty of this. Yeah, it was like somebody tells him he's guilty. Well, he must be guilty then. Yep. Yeah, I totally agree with you. But then again, he might not be guilty. I see your point on that. What's that character from the Far Show, the one that doesn't have an opinion?
Oh God!
And he keeps changing his opinion based on what his best mates are all talking about.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, that's what he seems to be like. He's very fickle
when
it comes to how did he ever build up because you think he's got some sort of fatherly relationship with Denzel's character, and it turns out that's all bullshit because he turns around and he goes, yeah, I do believe you're guilty, actually.
Yeah.
Because somebody from head office said you were. Somebody who's nowhere near ground zero has told me that we need to bring you in because they believe you're guilty. Because some other bloke said something.
Yeah. Yeah, he did. Yeah. I mean, you're talking about, by the way, you're talking about Indecisive Dave.
Indecisive Dave, that's the geezer.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I felt like it wasn't a cheat so much as it was playing to type with Donald Sutherland because the thing is, as soon as you see him in most films, unless he's the main character, unless he's the hero up front and center as the hero explicitly, you're always going, nah, I don't trust him. There's something off about him.
Right.
It's always, and so to me, and again, I don't know if that's the book or whatever it was that was informing my information, but it was like as soon as he appeared and Jonesy appeared, I thought, you know what would be a good twist if Jonesy's the demon and shoots the guy we already suspect because everyone's looking at Donald Sutherland, nobody's looking at Jonesy because Jonesy's a good geezer.
Yeah. Can I just say as well? I don't know if this is true, but I'm pretty sure that if you're having to apprehend a policeman, right? If you're sending out someone to apprehend your home, you don't send a police chief.
No.
Right? What that is, that's you know what? We spent 2.5p on everyone else, right, in the film, right? But like we got John Goodman and we've got Donald Sutherland. But what about James Gandolfini? Yeah, but he's not famous yet. He hasn't done Sopranos, so he's fairly cheap.
Yeah.
The fucking a Boots voucher and a sandwich will do him. For the minute, it won't be that later on. But for the minute, he's like a bit desperate for work, maybe. So yeah, there we go. So that smacks of we spent all this fucking money on him, didn't we? Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
him and Goodman. Yeah, so it's why don't we use them in the finale? Yeah, but I don't know any police station that will send its police chief into airport. Yeah, I know, we know. But you're this is a film about a police officer chasing a demon. So Don't talk to me about realism. All right?
Yeah,
Okay?
the realism left about 4 hours ago on the bus.
Yep, indeed. Well, realism spent all the budget. That's what it did. And it's like, we spent the money. Let's get, we need to get them on screen to justify it to the shareholders that, we made the right choice to get them into this film.
Look at the star power in this finale. Look at it.
Yep. Look at it. Oh, what? See that? There's 3. Look at this. The power of the 3 there. It's the trifecta there. Look at them.
Yeah. There's 2 Oscar winners and the geezer from Roseanne.
Exactly. Who I'm sure will go on to be in many wonderful films. Big Lebowski.
Yeah. And
So,
Lee's going to tell him he loves him in the lift.
Indeed. He'll be snuck up from behind
And
by some bloke in the lift.
who will tell him he loves him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I personally, the Donald Sutherland thing, I know what you mean by cheat. I know what Darren means by having him in the front and centre because that's what needs to happen.
Yeah.
But for me, that was so blatantly like, oh, look, here's the guy who looks really devious and mean and weird and, you've not trusted him throughout the whole film and now all of a sudden, let's just pull the rug from under you. It felt a bit lazy.
Yeah. Oh, it wasn't him all along.
I wouldn't have used James Gandolfini.
Yes.
I wouldn't have used Donald Sutherland. Use James Gandolfini. Use John Goodman in the same scene. And, you've got your bitter and twisted cop who's already been possessed by the demon anyway.
Yeah.
I think maybe that's why they didn't use him, because he has already been possessed.
Yeah. Maybe.
Well, what you could have done is, right, throughout the film, you could have had him, after a certain time, always be the possessed copper. And when it comes to this bit at the end, he's no longer possessed, of course. It's gone to John Goodman. Really do a rug pull. You really want to do that? There you go.
He's been chasing as Gandolfini all the way, and then all of a sudden, right at the very end, Gandolfini just taps John Goodman on the shoulder and you're like, oh, hang on, wrong person.
Yep.
Checkmate.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Doll.
John Goodman as the possessed though was really good.
Oh yeah, but I was going to say if you see him in Barton Fink when he's running down that corridor in the hotel when it's all on fire. Oh my god. Yeah, Goodman's not a man you cross when you see him when he goes off on one. Yeah.
You only have to see him in 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Oh yeah.
In that. Fuck me. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Have you seen that, Elton?
Yes, I have. Yeah, really enjoyed that.
Yeah, another film that could have finished about 10 minutes earlier and still been a good film.
Indeed. Yep.
Anyway. Sorry.
When she leaves the bunker.
Yes.
Fade to black, fade to black, fade to black.
Yeah, and cut. Yes.
On the ending of this, then, so we have.
Well done, Elton. Bring us back on track.
You're welcome.
Yep.
So we have Denzel, who's smoking the poison that his brother was killed by.
Yes.
And you think it is kind of checkmate because he's shot it. Well, he's shot his best mate or his partner in the stomach, so it's a slow death.
Mm-hmm.
He's got poison,
and
you think checkmate to the possessor, the demon.
Yes.
And then you forget about the cat.
Well, did you though?
I thought it was good. I quite liked it actually.
I forgot about it a bit. Although I do have a suggestion on how this could have been solved better.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you have Denzel go out to you see him go out to the cabin, and he's waiting in the cabin for Goodman to turn up, and it cuts to the demon showing up as the one officer to come and get him. And when he's in there, suddenly he looks around. He's in the middle of nowhere. He's in the hut, and he can't see Denzel in the hut. And then something makes him look to the left, and he sees 14 gallons of fucking fuel in there, hooked up to a radio mic.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, the whole thing explodes. Denzel Washington's watching it from a hilltop with a pair of binoculars, takes him out. No cat, no nothing is going to get fucking possessed after that.
Why?
Well, everything's going to be destroyed within a certain radius, isn't it, after the explosion?
Yeah, but you're talking about like doing some kind of fucking thermite exploding sort of napalm bomb bollocks.
No,
Yeah?
just a couple of barrels of fuel. That's all you need. Bang.
It's the end
He's
of the
part-
Last Boy Scout, isn't it? On the hilltop.
Do that. Just do that.
yeah, the Wile E. Coyote in the distance.
Yep, that's it. Thank you very much. Everybody goes home.
Personally, I was actually thinking, and this may be the bit I got where I got it wrong from the book or whatever it was I was trying to remember. I thought that what Denzel would do would take a puff on his cigarette. He's dying.
Yep.
And then basically go swimming in the lake that was just off the side. Because there was a lake.
Right,
There was a
okay.
lake in the distance. So then what happens is, he dies. He gets possessed, and then the only thing Azazel can do is basically possess a fish. And then the last thing is like, let me tell you how I almost died, and then you just sort of see a fucking goldfish swim into view and go, I'll see you soon, motherfuckers.
The old Jeff Buckley ending.
Yeah, it's just
And then,
like,
of course, the next morning, somebody goes out in a fishing boat and goes fishing, and there you go. Yeah,
Yeah.
you've done the. Oh,
yeah,
And then Captain Birdseye is possessed.
yeah, yeah. Yeah.
I'm surprised that John Hobbs shot Jonesy. I would have thought because he was poisoning himself anyway, he was going to be dying. Why not let Jonesy have that long death? And then, because otherwise you're going to have a bullet in Jonesy's forehead, and John Hobbs is never going to be clear of murder or anything like that. He's going to be put down for all of these other murders and crimes.
Yeah.
So why did he have to kill Jonesy?
Well, exactly. Let him fucking cark it slow, and But I don't know. That's part of the problem. It's like there's so many ways around it, isn't there? You could have let him die slow, and then put him on a boat on that lake and just pushed him out into the middle of the fucking of the fucking lake, and he just walked off. By the time Jonesy offed himself, or even if he fell in the water, he's still got to be a quarter of a mile away from Denzel, especially if Denzel gets in the car and drives off again. It's like, there's about 101 different ways you could have finished it, but the when you saw the cat, I have to say, and I don't know about you guys, but I turned the volume up to hear whether or not the cat was meowing "Time is on my side," because that would have done it for me. That if it leant right into the lunacy and gone
Meow, 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 meow.
as it kind of wanders off into the forest.
Like a Niam cat with like a pink rainbow coming out of his ass.
Exactly. And then all of a sudden the narration goes, I could tell you how I almost died, but let me tell you this.
Meow, 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 meow. See you real soon. Meow.
It just disappeared. I would have gone for that. I would have actually been up for that. That would have done me.
God.
What? Tell me I'm wrong.
You're wrong. You're
Why is-
really wrong.
How is he talking in Denzel's voice if he's a fucking cat?
Because it's not the cat talking. I hate to tell you this, but it's not the cat talking.
It's the cat monologuing though.
No, it's the
demon.
The demon monologuing.
Yeah, in Denzel's voice.
In Denzel's voice is the last person he possessed,
But he's not. He's possessing a cat now.
which can't talk.
So you say. I think I beg to differ. Clearly it can talk.
Well, I tell you, sir, I don't think cats can talk.
I say to you, good day, sir.
yeah, the cat said, "Talk, meow."
Oh.
No.
down the platform with you, sir.
And thus our review is wrapped up.
And thus it is concluded. Right. So overall, thumbs up, but there are some problems. It's a schlocky horror thriller. Can I ask one question, Elton? Just for completionists. Any roast potatoes?
No roast potatoes at all. But I kind of want to watch it again now.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think now I know it is that kind of X-Filey episode. Kind of works.
Okay.
And so, yeah, I think I want to watch it in future. Thank you, Darren.
That's all right. No problem.
Cool. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. Well, it just leaves me to say...
Tetsu Canada!
And, wrap it up. If anyone has any feedback on this episode or on the film, then by all means, feel free to send it in to feedback@blackdogpodcast.com or put it on the Facebook group, which is facebook.com/groups/the Black Dog Podcast. I'm just assuming that everyone's done with the review. I'll just wrap it up there. You all right, Dal?
Yes, I'm fine.
Lovely. Brilliant. Well, now the tricky bit. And we are going to get some green room action going on here. So let me just just put a decent sort of like a decent gap in here.
Put your helmet on. We'll be reaching speeds of 3.
Thank you very much. And now we shall now descend into the green room as we try and decide what we're going to do for when we come back. So I'm thinking we can do one of two things. We can either watch something that I've got planned in the back of my head because it's about to be out, or we can just start next year with How Was Your Christmas and then work out a film next year.
What were you thinking of?
What was I thinking?
Yeah, what were you thinking of us watching?
Well, because it was Jim's choice, but Jim's not around. I was thinking that coming out in less than 3 days, is Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon, Part 1.
Do you know what? Somebody I know who is the most, who I feel forgives a lot, really fucking hated that film. He went to see it at the. He really didn't like it at all. He's a fucking Snyder fan as well.
Well, I'll be honest with you. It was one thing I was looking at it and I was just thinking, this is everything I hate about a Snyder film. It's overblown, it's overproduced looking, it's oversaturated, and it's ripping off about 75 things in the trailer alone.
Do you know what? You see, I get where you're coming from on that one, but my actual thing about everything I hate about a Snyder film is one that he's written and thought up himself, and he's not adapting anything. He's not basing it on a set of heroes that have been written by someone else in the past. No, this is from Zack's imagination alone. Everything from his imagination, original from his imagination, right? That's not been thought by anyone else. Is always shit. Sucker Punch. Sucker Punch was that, right? Okay.
Yeah.
This, obviously, there was something else he put out there as well.
Army of the Dead.
Army of the Dead, see what I mean? His track record is unbroken.
It's a race to the bottom. Well, how do you feel about it, Elton?
I think we should do a movie, definitely.
Cool.
I'm always happy to do a movie. I don't mind doing whatever you want, honestly.
We can do this.
Are we going to?
Yeah.
I don't mind. I don't mind.
So, all I ask is, what is the program after that? Is it back to Jim's choice, and then because I've got mine ready to go. I know what I want to do, and I kind of don't want to miss out on my turn. So,
well, if you want to do your turn, have you got one all queued up now?
Yeah, no. Let's not do that. I like this idea of doing something
Well, we'll start
Spanky
with you
new.
next year then. We'll start. Yours will be the first film we come back to.
Yeah. So what we'll do?
you know,
Yeah.
first
So
choice.
okay. So what we'll do? So what we'll do?
We'll do this, and then Jim's choice, and then it'll be my choice after that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, Jim just totally loses out. That's
Yeah,
not
sure.
fair.
That sounds fair. Sounds good.
Okay.
Okay, let's do that.
Yeah. Well, there you go. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's how it works. We just sit here and talk a load of old bollocks while not normally recording, but we are.
Oh,
This
that's
is-
going in, is it?
I've been recording the
Oh.
whole fucking lot.
Really?
Yeah.
I wish you'd warn me. Jesus Christ, it's a good job I didn't do my usual casual racism or anything like that. Jesus, man. Or drug references. Or,
Yeah.
You know.
Or mention that prostitute you murdered the other week. No. So anyway, no, it's fine. I've been recording all of it. Why do you think I put an audio bed on it? Do you think I was just doing that for the hell of it?
Yes, you
Oh,
did it
because
earlier
was
on.
Christmas.
Oh yeah, I did do it earlier on, didn't I?
Yeah.
off screen, off air.
I'm sure this made really, really sort of, interesting and
Some-
intriguing podcasting.
Sometimes you just got to pull back the curtain for Christmas,
Yeah.
and that's what we're doing. I've pulled back for Christmas.
Who's Christmas?
You've pulled out for Christmas.
Pulled out for Christmas.
Just in time.
There you go. That's another Darren AI. I've pulled out for Christmas.
Oh, could do that. Oh, okay, that's going on my list as well.
You want to pull out for Christmas as well?
Yeah.
No, I've just seen another one that I'm going to put on my list.
Okay. Right. Fine.
I'm not going to tell you.
Well, no, I wasn't expecting you to, but there you go. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was enthralling, wasn't it? Our gift to you. The crap we don't normally say, that we don't normally record, because it's as boring as arse. But you know what? Had a nice musical soundtrack, didn't it? Thank you. So,
All times.
I guess we'll just call it there. So we'll do Rebel Moon then, shall we?
Yeah, screw it. Let's do it.
Ah, may God have mercy upon our souls.
Where is it?
Alright.
Where can I
It's-
find this?
It is Netflix. It is a enormous Netflix release. It is
Oh, is it?
It's their tentpole for Christmas, and so much so that they've dropped like 160 million on its production,
Oh my god, it's part one.
and it's part one. Yeah. What?
The guy at Netflix has voiced it and gone, "What have you done? What have you fucking done, you cunt?"
Why? God, why? Yeah. So, it's out over Christmas. It's It's part one of two, and I've also heard that this is the short version, and there'll be guess what?
no.
There'll be a Snyder cut, which is the
Really?
most stupid fucking thing I've ever heard in my life. But it's like, we've given him as much money as he likes to make a film he likes, because he turned up at Netflix and went, "I want to make Star Wars," and basically Star Wars Lucasfilm turned around, Lucasfilm turned around and went, "Nah." So he went off and made it himself. That's the general accepted truth of the creation of it. So he had a Star Wars movie. He went off to make it. Lucasfilm kiboshed it. Disney kiboshed it. So he took the story, changed the names, went to find and replace in Word, and took it to Netflix, and they paid him 160 million for it. So, if that's the case, why is there a director's cut? Why is there a director's cut coming for something where he's been given carte blanche and a huge amount of cash to make it?
And does this director's cut involve him going back out there and shooting extra bits for it? Because that's not a director's cut. That's just extending a movie.
That's DLC.
That's what that is. Yeah, that's DLC. That is.
Yes.
Right.
So, all these questions and more will be answered when we come back in the most miserable month of the year, January, with the most miserable film of the year, Rebel Moon. So, we'll come back with that. So, enjoy that. So, we'll wrap it up here and do the usual Pimp's Corner thing. So we'll start with Jim, who's doing all of his Hypnagoria advent calendar stuff with various readings and artworks and poetry and that sort of thing. So you can find all of that and more over at hypnogoria.com. And what about you, Elton?
I'm just wandering around in the frozen wastes of the Great Bear Island on The Long Dark, which is on YouTube somewhere. I forget where.
Rogue 2 Media.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
There you go. See?
You can tell how much importance I've put into this.
I was going to say you're really digging it, aren't you? You've got the sense. You're making the sounds of a man who's regretting his life choices.
I'll be honest. I finished recording that in probably early September.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh right.
Been ages, and
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Still putting them out.
Okay. Cool. Well, there you go. Another look behind the curtain. So, what about you, Darren? Got anything to promote?
Nope.
No.
Nothing at all.
Brilliant. Neither have I.
No.
There you go. So we'll leave that all there. You can see, you can get all of Elton's stuff over at rogue2media.com. And that's that. So we'll wrap it up here. It is time to give you the caption, which I know we're sticking right at the very end, but I think the caption's quite obvious this time. What we'll do is we'll just say, but I'll do that for the louder. Hold on, let me just try again.
Titsu Canada.
That
There you
sounds
go.
like Elton's special bedroom noise.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah. That's a long weekend with the kids away, isn't it? Close the door, and then from out in the street you can hear
Titsu Canada.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. That's it from us. That's it for 2023 from the Black Dog.
Indeed.
You may not thank us for that, but there you go. That's it. Take it or leave it. So, for those of you who have stuck with us since we came back, since pandemic, which was 2020, thank you very much for sticking with us, and thank you very much for listening to this old nonsense and still continuing to listen to this old nonsense. It's been fun. I hope it's been fun for you, and if not, why the hell are you still listening? As ever, hope you all have a great Christmas, Happy New Year. Jim, I hope if you're listening, you have a great Christmas and Happy New Year. Darren?
Yes. What?
See you. See ya.
Oh,
See ya.
Yeah. See ya. See ya.
Hope you're not sitting on Papa John's boxes.
Yeah, hope your sofa turns up.
Yeah, I'm still betting that's not going to be the case.
Well, so far, so good.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
Jesus.
And yeah, that's too far. And Elton.
Yep.
Elton. It's been real.
Yeah, that was a thing.
It was a thing that happened.
Yeah.
20,
Are we ready
2023.
to finish the practice and now press the record buttons and get down and record the episode?
Yeah, that'll be great. Let's try that.
Let's do that.
I'll start it now. Yeah. Ready? Let's press the button, and until next time, we'll see you in 2024 for more of this shit. Anyway, let's press the button and start the podcast. Hey,
Titsu Canada.
Oh, bollocks to it.